Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a great first few days of the year so far. So, in today's video, I wanted to bring some more sensitive topics, right? I wanted to talk about the effects a toxic parent, specifically a toxic mother, have on, a person. I have a few stitches to share with you guys, and I will go ahead and share my story at the end. Um, so stay tuned. Let's go ahead and get started.
I know that finding out that your mother has been your biggest setback and your biggest hater may be something that you want to confront, but for the sake of your own mental health, do not confront your toxic mom. I'm going to tell you why. Because, first of all, she knew what she was doing when she did that to you. She knew what she was doing when she made comments that were going to break your self esteem down. She knew what she was doing when she saw you on the brink of doing something better with your life and possibly being on the way to doing something better than her when she sabotaged. So confronting her is only going to give her the opportunity to gaslight you, make you question your reality, and give her the opportunity to up her game with her tactics to keep you in her life and continue to project a toxic lifestyle onto you. Do yourself a huge favor and just move different and move on. Because trying to get her to transform into the mother that you always wanted her to be is only going to give her the opportunity to drive the knife deeper through your back. Move different and move on. Because she has made it about her all your life. Now it's time for you to make it about you. You deserve that.
You accepted your mother's projections because you wanted to empathize with her. You wanted to align with her and let her know that someone actually does give a fuck about her. You tried to love your mother. You tried to give her a part of you that you had willingly to give. It was out in the open, the hugs, the love, the kisses, the affirmations. You tried to give her that and she was still a bitch to you. And this is why you're struggling in the present moment, because you can't let her go. Let her go. She cannot be the mother that you wanted her to be. You have to be the mother that you needed for yourself. Let her go. Let the fantasy go. She's not coming back to save you. This is a hard pill to swallow, but I needed to hear this for myself. And somebody probably needs to as well.
Beware of narcissism in non-romantic relationships. If you are an adult daughter and you've had an unhealthy relationship with your mom, this video is for you. It's extremely hurtful to feel like the person who's supposed to love you the most doesn't even like you. I'm Kiki, I'm a licensed therapist, and I am the daughter of a covert narcissistic mom, so who better to listen to than me? First, I want to tell you, in case no one has told you today, your feelings are really valid. You are not crazy. Your mom is gaslighting you and manipulating you in order to keep you in this little box of control. Ever wonder why your mom was so unsupportive of you, but can give you updates on everyone else? A covert narcissistic mom will be jealous and envious of their daughter's accomplishments and successes, especially if it surpasses theirs. Does your mom not respect your boundaries? And if you have kids, tries to override you. The reason why I started this video off with validation is because a narcissistic mom will try to control you by manipulation and then gaslight you into thinking your feelings are not valid. She'll do and say things that she knows is inappropriate in front of people, or even just when it's you two. And then when you bring it up to her or try to confront her about it, she'll say, "Oh, I didn't mean it that way," or "I didn't even say that at all." The reason why it's so hard to set and maintain boundaries with narcissistic moms is because you, first of all, want the validation naturally. You want the relationship, and she'll trick you into thinking that she's changed by having these little mini good streaks, and then you'll be vulnerable, let your guard down, and she'll break your heart again and quickly prove to you why you needed the boundaries in the first place. Trust your judgment. Unfortunately, when your mom is a covert narcissist, you can only maintain the relationship at a surface level. Ultimately, if you detach from the fantasy idea of what a daughter-mother relationship is supposed to look like, and if you stop comparing your relationship to others, then it'll be easier for you to stick to your boundaries, and healthier too. You deserve to be treated with love, respect, support, and kindness, even and especially from your mom. I know that it's hard and unfair. I'm a therapist in therapy because of my mom, but trust me, you got this.
Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. Now, I honestly just feel like a lot of parents feel like they need a trophy, they deserve a trophy for doing their job as a parent, like giving you clothes, food, shelter, which is basic needs, basic things you have to provide for a child when you decide to have a child. No one put a gun to your head and told you to have a kid. I understand you're working hard and you're providing for your child, but that child is your responsibility. If you don't do that, the child's gonna die. The child that you chose to have is going to die and suffer throughout this life. And I feel like religion gives parents this leeway to abuse children. And when you speak up, they use religion against you. You're supposed to honor and respect your parents. And if talk about how you feel, you're basically just being ungrateful, because you're supposed to just be happy with the fact that you're getting those three needs met. A lot of children in the world are not getting those three needs met. You need to be grateful. And it was never about not being grateful. When you listen to these children speak about how they were emotionally hurt and stuff by their parents, it was never that they weren't grateful what the parents were doing for them. It was just, I just needed a little bit more when it comes to the emotional need and stuff like that. And they don't take accountability. Religion helps them not take accountability, where they feel like they're in the right. They don't need to do the extra work you're asking about. And if you complain, you're ungrateful, and yeah, you're going to hell because you don't respect and honor your parents. Just like religion gets used to put women in their place, religion gets used to put children in their place and to be emotionally manipulated by their parents. A lot of parents use their past, like what they went through in their past when they were kids and stuff like that, to manipulate you emotionally, to justify why they're treating you a certain way. And it's like, you extend grace. You say, damn, my parent went through this, and I choose to acknowledge what they went through. I choose to understand that my parents did not get a book to say, what, they know how to be a parent. This is the booklet they gave them. They should know how to do this. So I personally gave grace to my mother. That's the parent that raised me. I gave grace to her, and I said, this is what she went through. She didn't get certain things from her mom, and and she's doing an amazing job and stuff like that. And you extend grace to your parents, right? You understand, like, they're doing their best. It's just, if you go to the extent of asking for more, then you're ungrateful. If you go to the extent of holding them accountable for certain things, then it's like you're in the wrong, right? So I did not grow up with my mother. I grew up in Haiti, and I was brought here by my mother. And when I first came here, I was under this fantasy when I was in Haiti that I used to watch movies and stuff and think, oh my God, like, I'm going to have this relationship with my mom. I'm going to have her as my best friend. And yeah, I came here. And I realized this person cares so much about what people think of her. So it had to bleed into me, meaning when people see me, they see her, like, and I have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way. I could not be myself, pretty much. Couldn't do my hair the way I wanted and stuff like that. It was all about the image, public image. And I, at first I didn't really mind. People complimented me and told me I look nice, I look presentable. And it was just like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm all about keeping the peace. That's fine. But this person also had a lot of anger, and I wasn't sure who the anger was from, like why it was directed towards me, but who hurt this person, what's going on. But being called a mistake, I just felt like, was so uncalled for. Like, why? And again, religion gives them this opportunity to abuse you, and they get away with it, because if you tell someone, they'll tell you, oh, that's your mom, she doesn't really feel that way, she's just angry. But how many times is this person going to constantly get angry and say the exact same thing for it to be valid for you to talk about it and feel some type of way about it, right? And it's like, yes, you give your parents grace, you get it, people get angry even if you said that, but still, why? You know, why is that the first thing that came to mind if I make you mad about something? Why is that the first thing that you resort to if, I do something wrong or you get angry at me? I spent such a long time talking to everyone who would listen. Really, like, I spent a long time like talking about my mom. I'm always talking to someone about my mom and telling them this is what's going on. So I was looking for this savior who would come in and talk to my mother, because accountability she's allergic to. So, and she's that type of person, if you confront her, she will start crying. I don't think she's like that anymore, but yeah. So I was always like, okay, I can't talk to this person. So because they'll become emotional, like you're attacking them, but all I'm saying is how I feel. So I was always looking like, I'm like, am I crazy? This is happening. And I would always have to start the conversation with, I'm grateful for her, and I understand things are hard, the person have to pay bills, but this is what's happening. Are my feelings justified? And even if the person's like, yes, your feelings are justified, but that's your parent, but they love you. I never fucking said that person did not love you. That's not what I said. I hate when people would tell me this. Because did I just say this person did not love me? Did I just say that? That's not what I asked you. And it's kind of like a way for them to just automatically cut you off, not wanting to hear what's going on, because I mean, they can't really do anything about it for real, right? They can't help you with that. That's between you and your parent. They're not gonna get in the middle of that. But I just feel like some parents just use that to an extent, because they'll curse you out every day, they'll treat you a certain way. I've been called a bitch, and I'm just like, now I know what being a bitch means, and I can be a bitch. And I'm just like, as a kid, I was not a bitch. And so it's like those words, I'm an overthinker. So if somebody calls me something or tells me something, I have to start thinking, what did I do? Why am I being called this? What did I do to deserve this? And you become so self-conscious, like, oh my God, like, I'm not a good person. I'm this, I'm that, and even being called selfish. And it's like, damn, I'm not doing anything right. And you just become this person who doesn't have any confidence in yourself. And you start realizing, you know what? As you get older, like, okay, this person was just projecting all of this onto me. You do realize that, in the future, after you start your healing. Okay. So yeah, I do feel that way when it comes to, parents and their toxicity. It's like nobody's going to be on your side. People don't want to be in the middle of that shit. And you have to deal with it yourself. You have to decide what you're going to do about it. Because if you know you can't deal with that person, that parent, you have to get out of that situation. So, as someone who is a cleaning freak, right? We clashed a lot because I would bring food up in my room, and because I don't want to talk to her, I want to avoid her at all costs. When I'm done eating and she's downstairs, I'm going to put my plate under my bed. And we could go days, weeks without talking. Like, my goal is to just avoid her at all costs. I stay in my room. If I could hear her coming from the stairs, I would just pretend like I'm doing something or like I'm sleeping. So it was like always, an issue when it came to that, but it was never because, I wasn't a clean person. It was never about that. It was just, I'm just trying to avoid this person. And it came to bite me in the butt because she would find them and she would be her about it. So my anxiety was just, I don't even think I knew what it was called, because I was just, young, and I was barely talking to anyone. So whatever little knowledge that I had, whatever little information I had was just, I guess, from social media and from school. Because, like I said, I just go to church, go to school, and come home. Like, they call like I legalese pretty much. So, my room is above the garage. So she doesn't go through the front door, she goes to the garage. And every time she opens the garage when she comes home from work or wherever, doesn't matter if I just fell asleep and I'm in a deep state of sleep, I will wake up with anxiety, with my heart beating out of my chest, almost sweating like, oh my God, did I clean enough? Did I remember to do this? Did I remember to do that? It was just so much anxiety, right? And that went on up until, I mean, I moved out. And before I moved out, I remember like college, right before college, two days before my high school graduation, I tried to commit suicide. And she never acknowledged it. My godmother talked to her about it and stuff, and she never acknowledged it until this lady who owed me money from me working for her under the table, they want to pay me. So I threatened her. I was like, if you don't pay me, I'm going to let the doctor know that you're committing fraud in this chiropractic office. And the husband brought me the money. And the only person I ever remember being on my side in my entire life is my grandmother on my dad's side. Like, I can always count to fend for myself if someone is disrespecting me or being any kind of way, because when it matters, no, like, she's not going to be on my side. So she proceeded to tell this man about me trying to commit suicide, and she was explaining it in Creole, and I was like, so you just don't give a fuck. Got it. Okay, got it. So with all of that, I proceeded to say, you know what? Let me make a plan. Let me make a plan to leave. You can just sit and complain all the time, Jen. You can't do that. You can't live in her house forever. You don't want to. So move out. And I had to think about, school and stuff. And I said, I'm going to Palm Beach State College and get my nursing degree. It's 4 years. I can suck it up and get me a little job on the side while I do that and be done. I did not want anything that was going to take me a very long time to do, because I wanted to move out like as soon as possible. So I was like, hey, this is my plan. I spoke to an advisor. This is what I'm going to do. She started crying. And I'm used to it, because she's someone who doesn't like confrontation, and if things are not going her way, yes, the tears will come out. And I've learned to be very numb with people's feelings because of that. So she's like, well, I'm studying to be a nurse. Why are you studying to be a nurse? You should go for something higher. At first, I understood. It's like, okay, you want better for me. But I said, let me start with that first, because I get my way, which is I get to move the fuck out as soon as possible the minute I graduate and get me a damn job. And it was like right before the pandemic. So I would be doing travel nurse. I would be making money. Okay. So I was like, yeah, like, this is what I'm going to do. And and through the midst of her crying, she said, becoming a doctor. And said, I'm like, damn, I get my way and you get your way. As someone who only cares about what people think about her, you get your way by telling people your daughter is a nurse, and I can move up from there. She was not trying to hear it. So I went back to the drawing board, because I like to plan, I like to fix things up, and I like to get all the information before I make my decision and bring it to her. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I went back to Palm Beach State, talked to an advisor, and they told me you know what, you want to do something. I was honest with her. I was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. So can you help me, please? Because I thought being a nurse is what every Haitian parent want, right? Like you, that's the golden ticket right there. Like you should be happy. A lot of parents are forcing their kids to be a nurse. And I was like, let me do something that's going to be even quicker, which is cosmetology. Like I do my own hair, I do my own nails, like my toes, everything. Like I've never paid to get my hair done. I stopped paying to get my nails done in sophomore year of high school. Like I do everything myself, my lashes, everything. So I'm like, okay, I can work on my craft. I can get paid, make it quick. I can still go to school for nursing. It's just I don't have to do it in her house. I just didn't want to be there anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. And I couldn't keep a relationship. Like your mental health, when it's fucked up, like it bleeds into other things in your life. So I told her that worst mistake ever. She said, I already didn't want you to go to Palm Beach State because only ghetto ass people go to Palm Beach State, only low life people go to Palm Beach State. But now you're talking about cosmetology, that's not a real career, you're not gonna make money and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. But the way I was thinking about it, I wanted to do YouTube, and I had studied YouTube at the time, and I was thinking she has her license as cosmetology, and she's like, I'm a cosmetologist and I don't make any money and stuff. But I'm like, you don't even take clients like that for real. So now I'm thinking I can do frontals, I can do makeup and do those things while she's doing, the perm and those professional hairstyles while I film them. And I thought like we could really start this generational business, this wealth thing we could build together. It was always about, including her and wanting her validation. And that did not work. Okay, it did not work. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm gonna just finish up my story. So um got to a point where I said fuck it, and I stopped going to school. I stopped going to school and I started working. Got me a little job and started saving and moved out. So when I first moved out, the first night I slept here, I woke up to a text from her, and she said, her mortgage is, backed up and her account is in the negatives, and she sent me a request for, I think it was like $2,000. And I'm thinking to myself, your only child moved out. You didn't ask her where she lived. You didn't see me move out with a bunch of furniture. I didn't even move out with my bed. Not asking me where I really got the money to move out, because I bet I started my job for a few months, but it definitely wasn't enough to put first, last, security, and all those things. And I'm just like, damn, did she really just send me request money? Is that? I remember going to my godmother's house. I got pasta, I got bread, I got hot dogs, and I got me some bread and peanut butter. And I ate that until I got paid to be able to do groceries. Yeah. So I was just like, it's like those moments where I wanted I wanted like affection, like I wanted validation, like, oh, I'm proud of you for doing this and that, and and the third, but yeah, never came. Up until I would say like almost a month ago, I was throwing up blood, I was not feeling well. She finally knows where I live. I live 10 minutes away from my mother. She never asked me where I live, and I never told her either. And I remember going to her house right after moving, and she's like, "Shh, don't speak too loud," because I told the people from her, that rents rooms from her, that I brought a house. Like I moved somewhere and brought a house, because she can't tell people that I'm such a failure. Like she's too ashamed. And I'm like, buy a house. I didn't say I got an apartment. That sounds more realistic. If you're gonna lie, make it realistic. A house at 23. Be fucking for real, right? So every time I will go around, like, her friends or people she knows, I just felt so uncomfortable because she would tell people that I go to school in Miami or I live in Miami, or I don't know what else, what other lies that she's, said about me. And I'm just like, damn, I live alone. I have an efficiency. I don't even have an apartment. And, I'm working, I'm, making plans for school and stuff like that, making plans for my future. I could easily just do OnlyFans. I got the ring light, I got a camera. Like, I could do OnlyFans. I could do porn. I could sell drugs. I could be with a man and just sell pussy for money. I could do so many things. And it's like other people see that and they congratulate you. They're proud of you. But the person that their opinion actually matters to you, but the person who put you on this planet, who should be happy with the decisions that you make that, are good for you. So I shouldn't be laughing, but on this little couch right here, like, I've cried enough. And now I'm just in a season of happiness. I'm in a season of, baby, I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion but my own. The hugs that I've given myself, I feel like I've never gotten from my parents. The hugs that I have to give myself, the self talk that I have to do to constantly tell myself, like, you're enough, it's okay, you're doing good. Even my old um co-worker, my old manager, she was like, Jenny, you have a corporate job. I'm a medical billing specialist. You have a corporate job. You live alone. You got your own car. Jenny, you are living life that people who are in their 30s are just now trying to get their shit together, just now trying to figure out. And even with all of that, it just never felt like I was doing good enough. It never felt like, and I wasn't even living with her. I moved out already. And I was criticizing myself every day. I just never felt enough. I never felt like I was doing enough. I never felt like I'm worthy enough, like, you know. And my depression, like, it was just bad. It was really, really bad. I would get up, look all cute, my heels in my hands, my flats on my feet. I'm ready to go to work. I would not make it past this door. I would not make it past this door. I get to work, I'm sitting in my car, I would not go inside. I would drive back home. It was just really bad. I realized 9 to 5s are just not for me. But I pushed through. I'm like, I got big girl bills to pay. I need to push through. And for the first time in my life, I kept a job for a very long time. So I I celebrate my wins and I give grace because I feel like, our parents, they really didn't get this workbook or this, booklet, like, this is how to be a parent. But I just wish they would acknowledge that, okay, you know what? Hey, I'm grateful for everything you've done, and this is how I've been affected, is what you've been doing that, affect me. And it wouldn't even get the as far as it has gotten for some people if right in the moment your child was talking to you, you actually give a shit and listened, right? So I'm working on myself this year, and it's cursing a lot. I realize I do that. I curse a lot, and I'm not even that person. Like, what's going on? What I haven't been watching? If I've been watching a show, and they curse, I curse. I feel like I pick up energies. I pick up things that I shouldn't be picking up. I'm gonna start in this video. For the rest of this video, I'm not cussing. But yeah, I feel like Caribbean parents, they work so hard for us. They work to put us here, but they don't realize. Yes, we're grateful. Yes, we want to make them proud, but damn, like, the mental toll some of this takes on us, it's a lot. And I'm just I'm just having to do the work because I got to a point where I had to stop therapy because the money wasn't moneying, and I had to stop therapy. And so I want to get back to that. I brought the book Shadow Work, so I want to get back to that. When I was doing shadow work, the mirror exercise, I didn't want to do it. You know, as someone who grew up Christian, I just felt like, that sounds a little demonic. I don't know, like I was sketchy about that. I didn't want to do it, but I saw this post on Instagram and it gave me strength. And I got up, sat in front of my vanity, and started telling myself I forgive my mother. She didn't even freaking know half of the time what she was doing. And even if she did know, you know what? It's okay. I don't need her validation. I don't need her to tell her she loves me. I fucking love me. Like, I'm an amazing person. I'm sweet, even though she called me selfish. I'm not a selfish person. I told myself I forgive my dad. It's okay that, he chose not to be in my life. He chose to replace me with other kids. That's okay. I'm not going to replace me, and I'm going to choose myself every single day. I'm going to pick me every day. Like, sitting in front of the mirror and letting go and saying, fine, I won't be angry anymore. Let me forgive. And all the crying every single day. Man, shadow work is not easy. Like they say, like they're for real. It's not easy. You have to be willing to wake up every single day and do it. And your self-talk is so important. So I want to tell you, like, I understand you might have gone through whatever you went through with your parents, but don't let that hold you back. Okay, let go. And if you feel like, you know what, you can't be friends with your parents, you can't, be around them, choose you, baby. Wake up and choose you. Especially, like, for me, especially the fact that, I've been called selfish. Oh, now I am selfish. Like, when it comes to me, I am selfish now. I don't want to spend time with you. I must tell you straight up, I'm not coming. The answer is no. I don't want to. I feel good saying that to people now. I don't feel obligated to say any of those things, like, to please people. And I got to a point where I'm just like, it's not my job to make this person feel good about themselves. If you get to a point in your life where you see this person constantly trying to please people, and hey, you can't help them out, it's not your job. Your job is you. So yeah, I guess I really became a selfish person, like she used to say. So yeah, even my grandmother's like, Jenny never brought you any, like, children out of wedlock. She mind her business. It's like I said, everybody else sees you, all the good things about you, except for that person. So choose you. Like, don't let your parents make you feel bad about yourself. And if you got to a point where you just can't do it anymore, I want you to know you got this. Okay? You have to release. You have to let it go when you're ready. When you're ready, let go, release, and keep working on yourself. I had to promise myself after the second time of trying to commit suicide that I promised myself to try life, and it took steps. So I said it, and I was just like, oh, I gotta wake up and do life every day. That is so ghetto. That is so ghetto. Because I was just passing by. Like, I always thought I was gonna end up doing it. So I never really cared about anything. Even school, like, I just didn't care about anything. So when I intentionally said I'm going to live a life, I wish I had just killed myself. Because, waking up and doing life every day is ghetto. Like, you have to be intentional. You have to care. You It was just so exhausting. But now it's just like I'm actually pursuing a purpose. I want to help. I want to be happy. I'm looking forward to this year to traveling and just seeing the world and being truly, truly happy. Like, I want this year to be about me, focusing on getting my financials together in school. I want this year to be about me. And I feel like I'm at a point now where I don't care about what a year of me truly going after what I want, me just truly living. And it feels freaking fabulous. I want you to take a deep breath and think about your future self. Like, think about her, him, and start doing the work. Because your future self is waiting on you. Your future self, like, I keep thinking about me right now, and I think about when I was laying on my bed crying, and the me that was constantly talking to people about my mother. And I realized, like, this me right here was waiting for that little girl, that child, to step it up, waiting for me to take the first step to moving out, to getting better, to, getting rid of my depression, to going to therapy. You are waiting on you. Like, ugh. When I think of the song When It Comes to You by Friday, I sing it to myself. I think, like, when it comes to me, like, I'll do anything for me. Like, that's how I think about that song. And I think about that little girl, and I think about how, like, bro, I'm just waiting on you to get your shit together. I'm just waiting on you to get up, girl. Get up. And I love singing that song to myself. I love looking in the mirror and singing like certain songs. I have a playlist for that. And it took a lot of work. And I mean, sticky notes on the mirror, morning affirmations, all of the things. I tried all of the things because I was going after giving myself that love that I feel like, you know what, damn, I really needed that. And when I tell you now I have my own back, like, you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to treat me any kind of way. I got me. Me, myself, and I, like, you don't want to mess with us. So when you get to that point, I hope you get to that point. It feels good. It feels so good. And get the right people in your corner. And don't give up. Don't give up. Give your parents grace. And that hurt, that anger, I felt it too. You'll get to a point where you just let it go, because you have to let it go and make space for love. And even if it's just you loving yourself, you don't want to make space for anybody else, that's fine too. The love that you have for yourself, you need space for it. So you have to get rid of that anger. You have to get rid of that resentment. Okay. I just look at the glass half full. They want us to be grateful. They gave us clothes, they gave us food. We had, a good community that we live in. We had all these things. We came to America. They gave us all those things. They work hard and pay the bills. I'm grateful for that. I'm happy about that. Thank you. Just look at it that way and move on. Move on with your life. There's nothing you can do about what happened. When it comes to them, that you can't do anything about them, but you can do something about the future, how you choose to show up for yourself in the future. I don't remember the last time I talked about my mother. And I hope, after years of not talking about my mom, this is the last real time that I talk about her. For real, for real. Like, for real. Probably not, because, like, when I talk about certain topics, I'll probably bring it up again, but yeah, but for educational purposes only. So yeah, um I hope you got something from this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your story down below. Bye.